The day of reckoning is fast approaching, and the question is, are you ready for it? Now, we could talk on a bunch of different levels on what we're talking about when we're talking about our debt crisis, the overspending of our government, and that's basically most of the Western governments. So if you're in the UK, Canada, Australia, United States, Japan, we're talking about the same thing. This vast overspending that the government has made on our behalf. That there's a day of reckoning coming. The markets are just ecstatic with bad news because they think they're going to get more stimmy checks. And that's just insane. Our supply chains around the world are stretched to the point of breaking. The only reason why they're not breaking right now is because no one's buying anything. The only reason why we can survive the shutting down of the Suez Canal, and that's where we are right now. We have over 500 ships that have diverted around the Suez Canal now. They're burning over 500,000 barrels of oil a day in excess of regular shipping. That's a lot less oil that's going into diesel and gasoline, and our shipping is out of whack. We have the Panama Canal operating at 50% capacity. This is not sustainable. There's a day of reckoning coming. Our supply chains are going to collapse. Our financial systems are going to collapse. Our banks are borrowing hundreds of billions of dollars from the Federal Reserve in emergency funding. Why are they borrowing? If times are so good, why do we have hundreds of billions of dollars being loaned in emergency funds to banks to keep them solvent? We have a continuous bailout of the banks going on right now, and then everyone wants to tell us in the stock market that everything's great. That's not how that works. We have tyranny being oppressed upon the United States in the form of things like the Patriot Act, and we have the president issuing emergency authorizations and presidential powers given to him during times of extreme emergency. We've been in extreme emergency since like the 1950s. Executive authority is not meant to be like that, and yet that's where we are. We have emergencies everywhere. We have fires burning everywhere, and yet we have people sitting around calmly in the coffee shop that's on fire saying everything is great. Now, as I look forward to this year, I am surprisingly hopeful. And why is that? As the day of reckoning approaches on many fronts, whether it's fiscally, morally in the country, we have perversions and all sorts of crazy stuff that's being rammed down our throats. It's not what they're doing in the bedroom, it's what they're doing in your classrooms, your children's classrooms. It's what they're doing overtly and forcing you to participate in and celebrate with them. If you're not, then you're a bigot. Everything is being shoved down our throats everywhere we go. I watched the Times, New York Times ball drop in Times Square, right? And I couldn't watch a minute of this broadcast on national TV without all their agendas and the message being jammed down my throat in just a 1 or 2 minute clip. It was ridiculous. But I'm hopeful. And why am I hopeful? Because I have taken many steps to get more prepared. I feel like I'm in a good place. And some of the plans that I'm working on are bearing fruit. There's some good things happening that are almost to the point of goodness, whether it's becoming more off-grid here at my location or the plans I'm laying for a bug-out location to a farm. That's that folks that I know, and we're building together some plans there of what to do if I need to leave this area and go hide in the mountains, basically. And there's hard times coming, folks. There's no denying that. You feel it in your gut. You can't watch the news and not see that. and start putting dots together and start seeing that things are happening and they're going to happen at an increased rate, I am surprised that things have hung on for so long. But that has given me and you a tremendous opportunity to better prepare. Back when the cough hit, I was not prepared. I was living in an apartment, basically downtown Pittsburgh. I had, that was back during the BLM riots, and there was some steps, not like a block from my house, basically as I walk down to stores and walk downtown or go on my exercise walks and stuff like that. I'd go down these steps, and spray painted on the steps was basically that a racial slur against white people on there, basically saying that we don't belong there. And I was just like, and it was labeled BLM and all that kind of stuff like that. And that was not a good place to be. I was a little concerned about my safety and the safety of my neighborhood and such like that. I had some food stocked up, but not all that much. I'm in a very different place than where I was back then, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that we've been given the past 3 years to prepare. Hopefully you've made use of that. Hopefully you've made plans. Hopefully you've taken advantage of things, gotten more stocked up, gotten more self-sufficient, independent. And hopefully we're in a better place. Because the day of reckoning is coming. And it's not just physically either. The moral implications of what we've done to our families. We're not having babies as Western countries. There just aren't enough kids. I know people are like, overpopulation, but that's just insane. Anyone who actually looks at the numbers will see that overpopulation of the world is not the problem. We're about to hit peak population of the world in the next 20 to 30 years. After that, population of the world's going down. Population of the United States only goes up because all these people are coming into it. Japan's population has been declining. China's population is about to start declining as well. We have around the world, we're seeing population declines. We're making choices. We're not prioritizing families. We're not prioritizing things. We're prioritizing economies. And here's the thing. When you have less people in an economy, you produce less stuff. The economy of a country naturally declines when the population declines. I know it's crazy to think about that. But our economies are built around the presupposition that our economies will keep expanding forever. What happens when there's less people, less production, less consumption? I mean, it's inevitable that we're going to run into a wall sooner or later. And like I said, it's not just physically, financially, morally even, in our societies, the moral implications, but we're talking about we'll all one day be in a hole in the ground, unless somebody sprinkles your ashes somewhere, right? We're all headed to an eternal day of reckoning as well. And hopefully you're thinking about that too. Now, I know not all of you agree with me on everything like that, and I'm not here to ram my opinions and my faith down your throat or anything like that. If you're not of the opinion, there's the Bible channel. I'd love for you to come over and check out our weekday Bible studies. They're restarting tomorrow, January 2nd. So we're working our way through the book of Exodus. So love for you to come join us over there. But just whatever you believe, doesn't it point to that there's going to be a reckoning? I believe, and my experience has borne out, that everyone within their hearts has this sense of eternity. The Bible says that eternity is placed upon their minds. And and it bears out. As I've traveled around the world, I've seen this. People realize that there's going to be consequences for the actions that they've taken. The things that you do, there's going to be a reckoning. And hopefully, Not only will we be able to survive the physical reckoning, the financial reckoning, the banking, the moral reckonings that our societies are going to undergo at any time at this point. World War III, a baptism of fire for all of us. Walmart's not going to be able to save you in World War III. If you think you're going to be able to use your internet in World War III, I don't know what you're smoking, but it must be from California or one of the other legal states or something like that. But it's crazy. The internet's going down like that. We have the power grid's probably going to go down very quickly with World War III as well. So things are going to get tough and things are going to get interesting. Hopefully you're toughening up. Hopefully you have the supplies that you need, the things that you need in order to get you over the hump. Because we're all going to have to adapt. Not only are we going to have to make changes to how we live, but we're going to have to take a hard look at who we are as people. Our relationships, how we interact with other people. We're going to have to rebuild societies from the ground up, and most times when collapse happens in empires and countries, they don't rebuild, or they don't rebuild well, because the moral decay in the societies, the relational decay, there is no trust anymore. There is no common morality, common ground, and we need to be thinking about that as well. Just what will we rebuild? Is there something that we as a people, our neighbors, our communities, that we have to offer to the world? Or should it all burn up because we have become a hot mess pile of wet garbage? And when you look at the news and you look at what's going on in a bunch of these cities and stuff like that, it's hard not to look at that and just say, maybe those cities just should close up shop and stop, right? Because the stuff that's going on there is despicable and disgusting and awful. People who follow the law are punished, and those who don't follow the law are rewarded. Upside down world. It's not good. It's evil. Dare I say that word? Evil. We see evil in our world everywhere. And if we're honest about it, we see that we're part of these some of these movements of evil. Let's be honest here. Some of the things that are happening out there, we're helping, we're funding, we're supporting. I mean, maybe not intentionally, but maybe just out of convenience. We're a part of these things. When we see the United States abusing other countries out there and doing all sorts of awful things out there, and you're paying your taxes, we're contributing to that, aren't we? We're helping prop up the system, and we're benefiting in some regards to a lot of this that's going on out there. Not as much as the millionaires and the billionaires out there, but we're benefiting. Let's be honest about it. This whole system is corrupt, and there is a day of reckoning coming. In fact, there is going to be a series of days of reckoning coming, and it may be long periods. It may be years, decades of reckoning. A judgment day, so to speak. Whether it's like Terminator, where the machines take over and AI takes over and tries to eradicate humanity, or whether it is the bankers try to eradicate humanity. We're already kind of there. They're just, they kind of failed with the cough, cough, right? They're trying to really bring us into a new dark age, and enough people stood up and said no. But what about next time? What about when it's World War III instead of a cough, cough? Will people stand up? Will people be able to stand up and say no? I don't know. We see things on the horizon, and we need to be busy little ants getting our things put together Squirrels running around grabbing the nuts and putting them where they need to go so that we are prepared. Nature is replete with examples of creatures that prepare for the hard times ahead. We'd be fools not to do likewise. Hopefully you've made use of these 3 years. If you haven't gotten to where you feel like you need to be, you have today. You have maybe this week, maybe a month. I don't know how long things are going to hold together. But you have opportunities to step out and to get a little better prepared, to build more relationships, to plan things better. Remember, if the internet goes away, are you going to be able to plan as effectively as you are able to today? Think about that. Planning is oftentimes a free thing that you can do to get more prepared. Print out maps. Even save digital copies of screenshots of maps and information that you need. Download libraries of information. You can download all of Wikipedia right now onto a little flash drive. Easy to do. There are different ways that you can do those things. Take steps today. Take steps this week to be more prepared. I look forward to this year. If I lose all of my power and my internet, you will find me on HF radio. I'm an amateur radio technician. I can't really share my call sign and stuff like that at this point, but if you scan the HF frequencies with no power and with no internet, you will find me there interacting with folks and hopefully giving out broadcasts to share information that we're receiving. I want to keep informing and equipping you guys and helping you guys as best I can. All right, friends, I look forward to working with you this year for however long we can and in whatever format we can. God bless you all, and I hope that you will be able to survive what is coming and survive well in this coming year. God bless you all. I will see you guys later. If you want to check out another video from the channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.